Hey there, Kelly Nash, good morning. Our long national nightmare is over. I'm very pleased to announce that. I know those were the words that Gerald Ford used back in 1974 to signal that Watergate was over, but this scandal, wow, far bigger, as everyone's Social Security payments have been ended and robbed. Same with your 401ks, because all that personal information that Elon Musk had gathered and then used it to rip off the entire nation. He didn't do any of that? Wait a second. I could have sworn I heard that's what was happening. That's not what actually happened, though. Elon Musk just served 128 days and did not rob everybody in America. Well, this is shocking news. Anyway, how are the Democrats going to sell? Who's the new? I guess they're going to have to shift to Big Balls. Big Balls is the new villain. It's kind of like a wrestling match. Like, who's going to be the new heel? It's got to be Big Balls, doesn't it? Maybe there'll be a surprising twist. We'll have to tune into Monday Night Raw to find out who the Democrats pick as the next heel in the government. But yes, I would like to say thank you to Elon Musk for his service. I wish that the Congress had done more with the information he provided. I understand that they say they're going to bring up some votes next week to try to codify some of these cuts. It's interesting that they got to take a vote on should we stop tinkling away tax dollars. Do you think they will? No, I actually, if I had, my money is already been stolen by the government, but if I had any money left to gamble with, I would gamble it towards they're going to continue to tinkle away our tax dollars. But that's neither here nor there, because we have more conspiracy theories. And the conspiracy theory that is sitting on the docket today has to do with everything in the Biden administration and the FBI, because you had the deputy director, Dan Bongino, announcing that we are going back and reopening, and maybe reopening is not the right word. We're going to take a fresh look at some of the scandals that happened that had no resolve. Who brought the cocaine into the White House? Who put that pipe bomb there on the night of January 5th, right before the January 6th rally? Who leaked the Dobbs decision before it was announced by the Supreme Court? All of those and more. And this is horrible news for you, America. You might be thinking, well, why would it be horrible news? Well, thankfully, we've got Frank Figliuzzi, I think is how you say his name. He's the former assistant director of the FBI, and he explains to you why this is just horrible news for America.
They may say, what's wrong with that? We all want this solved. Let's figure out whose cocaine it was at the White House. Let's solve the pipe bombs placed on the night of January 5th. Let's figure out who leaked the Dobbs draft from the Supreme Court.
Seems reasonable.
But you've got to understand, first, what's not getting done in the FBI's national security priorities: public corruption, organized crime, violent gangs. Number two, what's really behind all of this? He's got to make good on the promises that Kash Patel, the director, and himself made in their podcasts, their books, their public appearances, where they said, I believe in the following conspiracies. I believe the FBI is hiding who the pipe bomber is. I believe that some liberal Democrat leaked the Dobbs draft out of the Supreme Court, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, wow. He's right? We got him over a barrel. They made a promise, because that's what people do when they go to D.C. They keep promises. Like Joe Biden ended cancer. Remember, that was his promise. He's going to end cancer. It's over. So if you know anybody who got a cancer diagnosis, apparently, according to Joe Biden, they're lying to you now, because he solved it. That was one of his campaign promises. No, Frank, they don't actually have to keep a campaign promise. Not that they were campaigning even. These two guys were appointed. So they don't even have to keep, there is no campaign promise, Frank. But could they even just do, I hate to say it, like they did with Epstein? Could they not just get and say, hey, look, we've been looking at these files. Kash Patel's been here for 128 days. Kash says there's nothing there. We've already seen the work that the FBI's done, and there's nothing there. But that's not what he said. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are saying we've looked at the investigation and there's a lot of holes in this investigation and we're going to go clean it up. They're not promising to deliver the heads of some liberals. They're saying there's holes in the investigation. Now, to your other point, this is a great Democrat trick for many, many years, that if we focus on something, then everybody else dies, right? Violent gangs are now free to roam the country. That was actually true during the Biden administration. But when you're talking about the FBI, Okay, over 13,000 field agents. How many do we need for these investigations? I would guess probably fewer agents will be used to investigate all three of these conspiracy theories than there are field agents being assigned to figure out who is making threats against the president of the United States currently. Right? That was when you put out the Seashells 8647, well, according to Kash Patel, we've got literally hundreds of copycats happening right now, and they all have to be investigated, especially when your sitting president has had 3 legit assassination attempts on him in the last year or so. So, no, I don't think that. And we also have 20,000 analysts in the FBI, Frank. It's a pretty big stinking deal. The only people who were really nervous about this would be like Christopher Wray. Oh, yeah. Chris, if they find out something here, first off, they're already saying that Christopher Wray was an incompetent director. That's what Kash Patel is basically saying by saying we're going to relook at it because there's holes in these investigations. Christopher Wray, you didn't think that there was more to be seen, and yet there is more to be seen. So this is horrible news for him. This is horrible news for the Biden administration. This is horrible news for libs throughout the swamp. And when I say libs, I don't just mean Democrats, Republicans, nonpartisan, anybody who leans towards bureaucracy, swamp, all of that. They don't want you investigating any of this. So it's a bad day in America for those people. I think it's a good day for Americans, and we're going to celebrate it right here.